Rein us in, Klidge.
All right.
Such the Wrangler.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Nostalgia Pile podcast. We have our finale for season 1 going on right now. Who you're listening to right now is Klidge. Hi, I'm Klidge, Klidge Radio. You can find me on just about everything as Klidge or Klidge Radio. Also with us today is, as always, Jordan.
It's me. It's Jordan. You can follow me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Kitsukatu. I'm going to be doing things like that on there. What are you doing? I'm sorry. Jake is distracting me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about who Jake is here in a second.
I'm just sitting here, man. Why are you getting
Keep
all
quiet.
No,
I saw your arm.
I saw your arm doing that thing. Yeah, did you see that too? Yeah, he was
like
doing
this.
the thing. Yeah, he
You're
was
like
doing the.
What am I doing?
Yeah, no, man.
What am I doing?
You were doing the
You're
thing.
bouncing your knee.
But it looks like you're doing something else.
I'm
Arm,
doing
and it
the
looks like you're
chase sleeve thing.
Yeah.
I'm yoinking it turbo style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm Cameron.
Say.
You can find me at Anarchic Killjoy just about everywhere. I'm always here.
And today we have a very special guest, someone who, if you're around us on things outside of the podcast, like the Twitch and sometimes the YouTube, good friend of the channel, good friend of the show, great swell guy who we've known for a very long time. Wasn't jacking off earlier.
No.
It's Jake.
Hey guys, it's great to be here today on my computer made of wood. I'm communicating via smoke signals.
Yeah. Yeah, if you might remember back in episode 1, this is the guy who we said we had nothing but good things to say about
I
him.
have no
aside from the
business
fact
being around technology, I think were some of the words.
that is the exact words I said, and
Yes.
I to this day will stand by it. You should not be around technology.
Amongst kinder things, so I'll back off.
Yeah, where can people find you, Jake?
They can find me at well, just fucking don't come see me. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. You can find me at
Are you
Sinwalker
quoting
Art.
fucking
Yes. You can find me
Diary
at
of a Wimpy Kid?
Sinwalker Art on Twitter. X. Sorry. You can find me. Don't look for my Instagram because that shit doesn't exist anymore. Art Station. I think I'm Sin. I don't fucking know. Just go to my Twitter. That's
Yeah.
about it, really. I don't really exist too much.
Question: do you have access to your Twitter again?
Yes, I do.
Do you have access
Okay,
to your
so
Instagram?
Twitter is Sinwalker Art.
Dude,
Yeah,
Jake
check
has
out
lost
Jake
his
Michael 13.
Jake has lost his
Yeah,
socials.
A while
so
back, I
many
was hacked on.
times.
I was hacked on Instagram by like some crypto scammer who renamed himself to Jake Michael 12 or 14 or some dumb shit.
Remember
It just
when?
got banned like a week ago and ended up getting my new personal account banned.
Remember when we
Oh,
were all
shit.
like, we were all like, dude, Jake, tell us. Like, you told us that you got hacked, and so we all sent like a message because he messaged all your friends to do the crypto scam, and then we were all
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Jake, so how did it go? Did you fuck that dude?
Well,
did that.
Cam's was the best one. He was trying to like scam this guy into like buying like some GPU off of him when the scalping was like at its peak.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, I don't know. Like, do you want me to send this thing to you? Like, how are we doing this? And then after just stringing the guy along for like 4 days straight, he responds with like, God, they punish your papa or some shit.
Yeah, something like that. I can't find it in my thing.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love that.
it was great. There was that. There was the one I insinuated that Jake and I were fucking during the summer.
Yes.
That he responded to, and he was just like, "Yeah, I remember all of that, but hey, can you click this link for me?"
That's what he would
I'm
say.
just-
Yeah, every time you would say, "Did you like any sort of like sexual
Did
innuendo?"
you forget the kisses we shared?
yeah, he would just go.
I deeply remember.
He's like, "No,
our
I remember."
Unforgettable nights at the docks.
Yeah, he would always say, "No, I remember that," and then just get straight to the point.
How the moonlight
like-
peeking through the parting clouds tickled
I
your cheeks
probably
in just
have.
the right way.
I wonder if I still
It
have
was some
those.
shit like
Shit
that.
is so funny, man. He was like, I'm just trying to scam you, you motherfucker. Like,
You
don't talk to
fucking
me
weirdo.
about this guy's gay sex life.
By the way, podcast, I'm not gay.
We should all find him again and make him just talk to us about our like summer camp experience in 2002.
So, yeah,
What
the
the
account
fuck?
was banned. Right, the last name it had was Michael_Davis_12_.
He went to Michael
Yeah,
Davis.
Jake Michael 13 was actually better, I think. Not Michael Davis. Is Davis a first
the
name?
profile picture looked like Ryan
It's
Reynolds
both.
and Jeff
It's
Goldblum
both?
had like
Okay.
a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
So how
that was
about
funny.
that anime, guys?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I was
Jake.
gonna say, how about the
Anime.
anime?
Yeah, that's Jake,
we should
guys.
do a
Let's talk about
podcast
something
about
else.
Not
about that
crypto
anime?
miners.
All right, so we have now watched everything that was initially put on our great wheel of anime, right?
Yes.
And so I don't know. I kind of thought it'd be fun to go back and do like a season in review and just kind of talk about the ones that we've seen. Maybe Jake has seen some of these, maybe he's not.
boy.
Hard to say. But I want to just like talk about the ones that we did there. Maybe just shoot the shit about anime in general. That way Jake's not fully left out. And then at the very end, we are going to be refilling the list with our season 2 picks. So myself, Jordan, and Cam have all brought 3 new anime for the list. And I'm just going to throw this out there. If Jake wants to add a mystery one to the list that we have to watch, maybe we can do that as well. I think that might be fun. Have a Jake suggestion on the list, and then not invite him back for the
And then
podcast.
we'll record and just be like, yeah, I don't know where we found this one, but
Yeah, this one's
That's
interesting,
us.
man.
know
Yeah,
where the
so
fuck this
you'll
came
have you'll have some time to think about that. I'm glad I dropped this on you now. Just aim for something that's between 12 and 24 episodes or shorter, or a movie. Movies work too. So anyway,
Hey,
let's just start with a solid question of what do you think was the best thing that we watched this season? Hands down, the best thing.
I'm biased
Mm-hmm.
towards Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, my like absolute favorite was Promare.
Oh, really? That's actually unexpected.
that's the one that's kind of in like that Gurren Lagann style, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fucking loved Promare.
hey, I guess that makes up for my 86 suggestion.
Yeah, so
If
guess
one of my
86.
suggestions was the absolute worst and one was the best, I count that as a dub, okay?
86. I didn't watch it, but I'm just gonna chime in real quick with I saw Klidge watch it a little bit, and from what I saw of it, I'm not gonna make a whole opinion on this shit just based off like half an episode, but it did seem very generic mech anime.
It wasn't even a mech, and you could barely call it that. That was the worst
Mech,
part.
mecha, I don't know the distinctions between all this shit.
That's the thing. It barely is
barely
that. It's just
was.
kind of like war.
The problem is
just
that
war.
usually when you use the mechs as a way to deliver the message about how bad war is, right? But they didn't do that, so it kind
How
of
would you
fell flat.
story?
I mean, it fell flat. If there was more mechs in it and the backdrop of war is bad was there, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. It's fucking mechs. But they did a flip opposite where they were like, war is really bad, but there was barely like a lot of mech action. What
Yeah, I
little
feel like,
mech action there is pretty good.
I
but
feel like the mech aspect of an anime that's telling a story about war, the mechs are just like a little cherry on top. They're just like a little garnish. Like, yo, here's some cool
Yeah.
shit on top of all that.
which is supposed to be the draw. Like that's what you want,
Mhm.
but they didn't really use it. Anyway, I don't want to keep. We're beating a dead horse. People know how we feel about it, so we'll
Go
move
on.
on. We'll move
I've
on.
had
We'll move on.
people. I have had so many people get just actually furious with me
You're doing an anime
about my
podcast.
opinions of 86.
Yeah.
And that episode isn't even released as of the recording of this. I've just brought it up on Twitter and in Discord, and people are questioning if I even have a brain, if I can see. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, I would like to hold up this mirror up to you and be like, explain.
Go get a
And in fact, I
sonogram.
kind of feel bad because there is another, I like an internet friend of mine and another content creator who apparently it's one of his favorite anime ever, and I kind of sent him on a spiral where now he just keeps posting about it.
Oh no.
And I'm like, well,
Yeah. Guys,
It's like, well, I mean, you know what? I'm glad you like it.
I mean, I
It's
think
trash,
that's it.
but I'm glad you like it. I like trash.
I
We
too.
all have
gave it a
trash
fucking
occasions.
4. So
Yeah.
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 4's bad. That's like not even a generous.
It's hard to
6.
give a mech anime a 4 because it's about fucking robots.
I don't
Let's move
think
on.
robots
No, no,
can
no.
just
We're done.
automatically.
We are
be
stun
like, well, it
locked.
can't
We're
be
stun
any
locked.
less than like a 5 or a 6.
Guys, we're stun locked.
I think it's fine.
We're stun
No,
locked.
we're fine.
Look, we can all agree that was the worst thing we watched. Okay,
Unless it's got
we can
Big
all
Weld
agree
in
that
it,
was the
I
worst.
can't give it anything.
I think the best thing we watched this. I mean, honestly, y'all, all your suggestions are really good. I really think the best thing I watched this Promare would be a close, but once I watched Evangelion, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Guys.
yeah, especially when you're going from 86
Yeah.
to Evangelion.
Yeah. And
Right?
we haven't even unpacked. We're going to unpack, but we haven't like recorded that episode yet.
Currently
But
on episode 14.
I just want everyone to know that they knew they were making a fucking hit. They knew that shit was going to be a cult classic. They knew before it even hit, they were going to make something just iconic. There are just so many scenes where you're like, we needed that. We needed just dead air for a second.
Yeah, no, it's
so good.
There is so much, like, not even just not to get into like actually going into the Eva episode, but like having
Yeah,
now
yeah.
watched most. I'm not fully done with it. I've not seen the movie. And I've got a couple.
Yeah, no,
episodes
same.
left.
I'm halfway, and I'm just like, whoa, holy shit.
They were very clearly like, we're putting fucking truth to fire in this shit.
Yeah.
We're burning chaos in the wind. We're gonna make this shit so fucking good. And it's amazing. It has everything that I would have expected from an actual mech anime. It's philosophical, even if the philosophy is kind of like whack.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes.
A little bit. But like the fights are cool. The actual inner turmoil of the people who are involved in it is cool. Masato is a baddie. It's great. Everything about it's great.
And just the overall environment, like the environmental storytelling, just from like a you can hear so much in the background if you're just listening. Like me and Natalie got a new surround sound, right? And I'm like listening to it and I'm so fucking immersed, just like listening to every soundbite I can get in the background. And then also every side character that barely has any screen time they all are just so very well written and developed.
Can you hear all of Shinji's little anxiety farts?
No, I can't hear that.
No,
Get some Sennheisers.
Yeah, they
That's because
edited
you have the
them
wrong
out.
headphones.
I don't have the Blu-ray disc version. I mean, Netflix is the Blu-ray version, right?
I'm not sure actually. It's a recent remaster. I think.
It definitely is. Because it sounds like sound design is so
Yeah,
good.
sound design in Evangelion is fucking phenomenal.
It might be peak, man. Might be peak sound design for sure. But yeah, that was my favorite, and I'm not even done with it. I'm just like blown away. I was like invested. So
Yeah, I mean the
Rippling.
thing with Eva, in particular, is that it's been so done. You know what I mean? After it was made, everything ever has parodied this to all hell. So I know what happens primarily. Like I know a lot of the beats. I know a lot of what the spoiler shit is, even going into it. And I feel like it's unavoidable if you're in anime at all, just because of how insanely heavily referenced it is. And even then, even knowing like so much going into it, being able to still like see it with fresh eyes and be like, holy shit. It completely makes sense why they're still printing figures of this and not 86.
this guy,
Man.
Jesus Christ.
I'm still mad.
Gun never
I'm
stops
done.
smoking over here.
No, I keep fucking lighting the cigarette in the barrel.
Wait until we're the old heads talking about how they don't make anime like they used to, And
We already are. What do you mean?
Yeah, no.
Our number
Well,
ones
yeah,
are Eva
yeah,
and
but-
Lane so far.
but they're
That
not-
shit's in the 90s.
But they're
I
done
got-
printing Eva, and they're printing 86 because we were like, holy shit, this shit
I
was
got
so
the
ahead
old-
of its time.
The old head vibe from y'all just listening to the first podcast and just
I mean,
hearing them
fair.
all like, man, I remember back when I was sitting in a hotel room watching Naruto and my dad just came in and turned it off.
Yeah, fuck
That's
that.
just real.
I was trauma dumping, honestly.
Tune in next week for Orochimaru doing who?
I mean, out of my top 10 on my Annie list, 7 out of 10 are prior to 2000.
I'm trying to figure out how do I
that's
how do I
kind of
actually
wild.
look up
That's
my
kind of
Annie
wild.
list, like our ratings in order, because it just gives me a weird ass thing. I've been trying to find it so we can actually look at this proper.
Because like my top 10 is like Cowboy Bebop, Lane, Paranoia Agent, Erased,
Fruits
Kill la
Basket.
Kill,
Okay.
Evangelion, Sailor Moon, Girl from the Other Side, Chainsaw Man, and JJK. Those are like my just the top 10 like highest rated ones.
Wow, Chainsaw Man's that high?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Fujimoto
I
has
have nothing bad to say about it. I'm
That's
just,
magic.
I've had my
imbued in him.
opinions on Chainsaw
But
Man.
there's definitely that's not finished, and that rating could go down.
Yeah, that's
potentially.
true.
It was just
They
a
could just
really good
bomb the
first
ending.
season.
Yeah, from what I saw, it was
I mean,
really
you
well
can,
animated.
yeah. I mean, we can all agree that first season was like, okay, we are setting a
I'm
precedent
excited
here.
for Rize movie.
Ooh. What was your favorite, Klidge?
So I'm at a bit of a toss-up, in all honesty. So I'm looking back at our score, our overall score. The only thing that we ever gave a complete unanimous 10 out of 10 was Lane. Right? And I love Lane. I think
Yeah.
about Lane a lot. That shit is still lives rent-free in my head constantly. And I'm like, wow, this shit is low-key actually kind of peak, and it fucks with your head, and it's great. Weirdly enough, the anime that I have thought about the most and that I think is still my favorite thing that I've watched, in terms of just like actual enjoyable media, would probably be Wonder Egg. That's the one I keep going back to. Every time
That's
I think
fair.
about it, I go back to it and I'm like, that was such a fucking good story.
I just wish,
It's just the 13th
when
episode.
that episode comes out, they dropped the ball really, really,
Mhm.
really hard. There's no denying it. The last like 2 episodes, just not great,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing that drops that score for me.
I would agree with that. It's just, I don't know. I'm trying to think back to what is the thing I enjoyed watching the most. Wonder Egg is the only one of all of the anime that we saw that I sat down and watched the entirety of in a single day because I was so hooked on it.
These
And
names.
so I think that because
man,
of that, right?
like the visuals I get when I don't know anything about what this looks like and I hear Wonder Egg Priority.
Look it up. It's cool.
Wonder Egg was
Look it up.
good. Yeah, Wonder Egg made me like basically cry, and then I was like, take me home, and they did not take me home.
They did not
Unfortunately,
They left you at the bus stop.
yeah, I was like, damn.
Left you at
Buy
the Waffle
fare.
House.
I got wine, dined, and then left to the fucking roaches, man. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Which
how
is
it is,
what's
June.
kind of it's why I'm like up and like kind of like weighing it right now on whether or not I want to say that was my number one of the season. But I think back and I'm like, that's definitely the one that stuck with me the most.
I
Yeah.
think
I
the one
definitely
that
think
had the
about Wonder Egg the most.
Yeah, the one I had the most fun watching, which like sucks. It's like obviously I love Lane. That's not a secret. I've already seen it.
Yeah.
Watching it this time was my third run through, so it was like it wasn't anything new. But Promare was just so much fun. Just so much fun.
Yeah, bro.
Promare's a
Yeah, I mean,
movie,
Pro-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could go
it's by
watch
Studio
that.
Trigger.
Hey, you should when you get a chance, Jake, if you're doing a movie night again, just watch Premiere. It's
You should.
it's fucking solid, man.
It's-
It's fucking solid.
It's over the top, stupid, homosexual, and really fun.
Hey,
I like over the
All of
top
my favorite
stupid
things.
if the stupidity can be a little weighed out with like some stakes and seriousness.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, they do
oh,
that
it
really
is.
well.
It balances that shit super well.
We got
I think
Gallo.
that's
Yeah,
why I
look,
like
there he is.
Chainsaw Man so
It's
much.
him.
It's Gallo.
It's Mr. Promare.
Oh my
Mr.
god, it's
Promare.
Kamina.
It's, I mean, essentially, yes. It's his, definitely his spiritual predecessor, or descendant.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I love this
Stupid
guy.
fucking hair.
He'd make a really
love
good
his-
gym leader.
Gallo is so
I
cool,
love-
guys. He's so cool.
Dumbass fucking Yu-Gi-Oh hair.
But,
It's great. Yeah.
really,
No.
our real simp is for Leo.
Oh shit, Leo.
We're Leo Simpson
Hey,
here.
yo.
We're big Leo simps.
Now, Jordan,
Oh,
for
hell
the
yeah.
audio listeners, are you going to provide images
Yeah, I'll provide images.
of what you're showing us?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You guys want images?
Fuck no.
Yeah, just send him in the group call.
Yeah,
Put
sure.
him in the video.
I'll send you guys
Fuck
the
no, I just
Crunchyroll
brought
link
it
so
up.
you can support Trigger. How about that?
True. Go support Trigger. I want them to keep making more cool things. I mean, look, I don't think they're gonna be hard up for money, given that they just made Dungeon Meshi, which is
Yeah, they're good.
one of the most popular anime of 2024.
I'm
Speaking of Trigger, I will speak on
Speaking
them
of.
later on.
I'm see, that's good shit. See, I'm convinced that Trigger can't go bankrupt at all. Like there's never they're not gonna have any issues. Every time
Well, they don't miss.
they don't miss, and then you see how like their touch has reached like honestly the planet, and you go, yeah, we're good. I'm always fiending for new Trigger content, but I feel like they went from they're so good in their niche, and then all of a sudden they were like the biggest, like you know the name. If you see Trigger, it's a hit, baby. It's a hit.
It's good quality.
They don't play, bro. They do not play. They got it.
What studio was behind Trigun?
A Madhouse, I believe.
Was it? Okay.
I think so.
Is that Matt? They make good shit.
They
too.
make good shit. They make great shit.
Madhouse is good. I don't know. Like there's a bunch of companies that like you
could be
see and
wrong.
you're just like, yep. I trust whoever is making this with my fucking life. Like normally, KyoAni, if they're making it, it's gonna be. I learned that KyoAni made Nichijou.
Yeah, that's why it's
I
so
didn't
good.
know that. and
Yeah,
I'm like, that makes so much
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Violet Evergarden, I've not watched, but I know is going to be a 10 out of 10 and will hurt me if I ever watch it. People will say, I think I brought this up in episode one too. Myriad Colors, people think is bad and kind of just horny bait. It's really, really fun. It's just a really good like slice of life Monster Hunter kind of thing. Not Monster Hunter like the game, but hunting monsters.
Yeah, this is Monster of the Week.
Yokai type shit. Yeah, it's fun. It's just kind of like goofy slice of lifey fun. And of course, Dragon Maid is a 10 out of 10. So you know, I would say Shaft is also in that territory of people who make anime who you can always trust that it's going to be good. And if you don't know, I mean, you guys know Shaft, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Probably the biggest thing is Madoka,
But yeah,
which they're making new Madoka shit right now, aren't they?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they are.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
we're getting off track.
So we've got Promare, Eva, and Wonder Egg is the big three. The big 3.
Mhm.
So those are
Alright.
the ones you've actually.
Yeah,
Gone
we've
through this
yes
season?
we watched.
Yes.
We watched all those.
We watched everything.
Which is funny because Wonder Egg and Promare were the first two things that we watched.
we started off
we
strong.
blew our load really fucking
Yeah.
hard.
We started
Well,
off
no, because
strong.
we still had Lane like a couple
Yeah,
episodes
Lane
later,
was a little
and
later.
that was our 110.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Lane is funny because we were watching through Birdie the Mighty, and we had some issues with going through Birdie the Mighty because of how impossible it is to actually watch that anywhere.
Yeah, dude.
The little behind the scenes shit for that. Except we got through season 1, and then Lane came up, and then we were like, all right, hold up. Birdie, I love you.
we need to take
We
a
need to
minute.
talk about
yes.
We need to talk about
we were
Lane.
like,
real
hold
quick.
on, everybody, and then we had to give Lane like its own full like episode because we were
Yeah.
like,
And I feel like we still
Hold
had
up.
more to talk about.
We did.
We did.
We cut it off early.
there was just so
Yeah,
much
it
to
was just-
unpack with Lane, man. I was very
Did you
pleased.
watch Lane, Jake?
I've watched like 3 episodes.
Okay.
Dude,
It
I
is.
feel like that's
Lane puts me in like a subliminal, like or not a subliminal,
Like a
but, like a
trance?
liminal space mentally. Like, I don't feel like I'm in my room anymore. I feel like I'm watching something very ethereal and strange.
Something you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Horrors beyond my comprehension.
It really is like an eldritch horror. It's just like you were about to get into some shit.
It's like the vibes each scene gives you feels like,
It's palpable.
yeah, this is real things. This could be a real scenario, but what the fuck is this atmosphere?
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. I love it.
yeah, it's
Yeah, y'all go watch Lane, bro. If y'all haven't already, go watch.
I would say that would probably be my biggest recommendation out of everything that we've watched this season for anybody who's like, if you need to pick one anime of the 9 that we covered, go watch Lane.
Yeah,
I've recommended it to people. I've had people come back and say, I don't get it. And like, you're not supposed to get it.
I don't think anyone gets it, dude. I think it's just an experience.
I get it.
Oh,
Point at him. Point at this liar.
I have gate kept this anime for over 10 years.
Cam loves Rick and Morty. He's got that
oh
IQ.
my god.
I gate kept this anime for 10 fucking years, and now I'm sharing it around.
Do you guys want to
Speaking
put
of,
Rick and Morty the anime on the list?
I was just about to say, speaking of Rick and Morty on an anime podcast right now, I've
Are you serious?
heard
Wait,
negative
what?
I will
things.
magically be sick for that week of recording.
we
in
should do
every
we should do a
week.
bonus episode where we do that.
I just won't care enough to show up.
I would rather watch Jaden Smith's dog shit anime.
Neo
like a-
Jaden
Yokio.
Smith has an anime.
Guys, come on.
You
but
don't
gotta-
deserve this big
Yokio.
Toblerone.
Cam, you gotta admit the Toblerone jokes are so fucking
The Toblerone
funny.
joke is fucking
So
hilarious,
fucking
but that
funny.
anime as a whole product is
There's-
fucking dog shit.
You don't know what the fuck's going on half the time. I think that's the problem. There, like,
I mean, it's the same thing with Lane. You don't know what the fuck's going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
the
yeah,
anime's
but
still
Lane
good,
had
but
some-
Neo Yokio doesn't have a fucking
Lane had
a fucking
Lane had
box
structure.
to stand on.
Yeah, Lane had structure. Lane had like world building and shit that you could be interested in and talk about. Neo Yokio is like a fucking trip, and you're not really on a trip. You're just watching something
It's
terrible.
And it felt like a lot of the jokes were like, we're going for like the Boondocks energy, but we're trying to be less racist, and we're just not funny.
Yeah. But then I'm like, Jaden Smith made an anime.
I heard
guess.
Deja laughing at what I just said downstairs.
Yeah, Neo Yokio. I didn't like.
It's bad.
terrible-
It's
I
just
didn't.
bad.
I
Such
didn't
a
like hate
terrible
myself
name.
for watching it, but I also didn't like enjoy it. I was just expecting, is this gonna get good at some point? Because I'm like, oh,
No.
it's brought to me by Jaden Smith and Vampire Weekend, and I was like, what did Jaden Smith and Vampire Weekend know about fucking anime? And apparently
I was gonna
nothing.
say, what?
Neo
Okay,
Yokio's not even on any list.
Because it's not really an anime. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Quick check. Is Avatar: The Last Airbender on that list?
I
2 seconds.
don't. I don't know.
Shit, he's
Probably.
gotcha.
I'd be curious. We can end this debate now.
Neo
It's
Yokio
not
is
on any list. It might be on my anime list though.
Neo Yokio is considered an animated series, according to Wikipedia, not an anime.
It's just such an awful name. I hate when they fucking try and do shit like that. Like, what's the name of the town in fucking Big
Avatar's
Hero
not
6?
on my anime list.
Isn't like the city in Big Hero 6 called like fucking like San Francisco or some shit like that?
Yeah, it is.
It's like just call it just call it something Japanese.
Okay.
You're not
Let me read this comment off, okay? So it's
Oh, boy.
I'm on a Reddit thread, and somebody asked, "Is Neo Yokio a classic?" And this commenter sums up my feelings perfectly. Floormaster92 says, "I'm not even sure Neo Yokio was real. There's a solid chance it was a fever dream we all shared."
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't really
Yeah.
like
I
anything.
mean, but it's also telling that the best thing to come out of Neo Yokio was the big Toblerone joke.
big Toblerone
and
joke,
that's in
yeah.
episode 1.
And that's the first time I learned what a fucking Toblerone was, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
wait, hold on.
See, that's a you
I-
problem.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what a Toblerone was. No, seriously, I've never had a Toblerone. to this day.
Man, that's good. That's good shit. That's
Is
good.
it good?
Jordan, my
chocolate.
wedding gift to you
Is a
is
big
going to
ass
be a big
Toblerone.
Toblerone. What is the biggest Toblerone I can buy?
Dude, we looked it up.
They
It's
get
like
huge.
$1,000 or some shit,
Just got
man.
put on a watch list.
Biggest Toblerone. Damn, we're doing Neo Yokio content.
Weapons grade
Fuck!
Toblerone.
Guys,
Hey man,
you can
somebody
get me
has
a
to. We're the
4
premier
point-
boots on the ground.
It's $200. $200.
4.5 kilograms.
$200.
Jesus Christ.
If you get me a $200 Toblerone, man, that should be crazy.
The wedding gift.
That's the wedding cake.
we
Yeah, just cut that bitch up and serve
a
it.
fucking 5-kilogram Toblerone. Let's go.
It's 9.92 pounds.
That's so much fucking chocolate. Like, you eat off that for a year, dog.
They put me in the same room as that bitch. One of us is leaving pregnant. Anyway, so we need to.
Yeah, I found your wedding
decide
gift.
things.
Okay,
Godspeed,
sick.
Jordan. Let me just bookmark this page.
That's so funny.
All of us buy the same wedding
If
gift
I
for
get
them and show
if
up.
I get 4 Toblerones,
Like the fucking three
4
wise
10-pound
men.
Toblerones.
my family's gonna be like, "Is this some sort of like elaborate joke?" And we're like, "No, we talked about this once."
No,
and
they're all just stupid.
I'm just gonna be like, you know, white people.
And then I'm going to bring up this recording on my phone.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not editing this out, by the way.
Oh,
I'm
No,
Line
it's
just-
up and
fine.
hand
I'm
you them
okay
all
with the
at
Neo Yokio content. Now everybody knows how we
Yes.
feel.
Yeah,
So does
just
everybody
stop asking
know-
about Yo-Yo?
What they're bringing.
Yes, I do.
I wrote mine on a
Yes.
fucking empty letter. Because I don't have a
Okay.
notepad for some reason.
That's
Do
okay.
we want to hop to that? Do we not want to talk about worse, other hidden gems and stuff like that, or anything? We just
Wait,
wanna
I think
jump
we
right
should.
into-
I think we should ask Jake about his background first, so we can.
You know
we can
what?
kinda
That's a
get
good
an
idea.
Yeah.
because we kind of just
Jake,
like
get up-
hopped into
Jake,
this.
get
huh?
your soapbox. Get your soapbox out.
All right.
I wrote them down because
It's the
Klidge
two.
mentioned this a little before the podcast.
It's the two Mountain
Um,
Dews in the background. Stand on them.
That's the apology podium. So early on, I'd say about 4 or 5 years old is when I kind of started discovering this shit. I kind of started out with, like Cam said, Fruits Basket. Didn't know what I was watching because I was just gaining like consciousness.
Mm.
Wait, hold
And
on.
what's up?
You also started.
What's
with
going
Fruits
on with you
Basket?
guys?
Did
Fruits
I miss
Basket-
something growing
Here's
up?
the
Yeah,
thing,
me
here's the
too,
thing,
bro.
I don't know what I was watching it on. I just know that somehow there was a TV in my living room, and when I was
don't know where it
crawling
came
around with
from.
my little Game Boy Pikachu edition and that shit, I would get distracted by this quote unquote cartoon I thought was on TV, and there was just like people becoming like animals or something. Some with a zodiac, some with like a cat. I don't know. And later on, I knew that to be Fruits Basket. I don't
No
really know
Shall
anything
and
about it.
Showdown.
I just remember that kind of made me want to watch other stuff
Jesus.
like it, and then I found Fooly Cooly.
Yeah.
And that is the first anime that I could remember just being like, yeah, that was pretty cool. That was wild, but that was pretty cool. After that, I got into stuff like what's that Kenshin one, samurai guy, red hair,
Rurouni
X on his face.
Kenshin.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I was into that. There was another one, I will never remember the name of it. Had like a whitish blue haired witch girl.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
No, but it reminded me of Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is the next one on this list.
Yeah, Yu
after
Yu
that, I was
Hakusho.
like-
God damn.
Yeah. After Yu Yu Hakusho, I kind of fell out of Yu Yu Hakusho right when that big first tournament started up and the muscle dude came out.
Yo, okay, hold
Brother
the
quit
fuck
when he
up.
was at the best part.
Bro,
Yeah,
hold the
I-
fuck up.
I
You
enjoyed
quit
meeting all the
before
characters
the
like
dark
Hiei and-
tournament. Holy shit.
Yeah. I never got into the tournament. I think it was just a little beyond me in terms of like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but
How old were you, at the
there's
time?
there's probably like 6, 7.
Oh, you needed to
You
be
know
like
what, that-
10. You
that
need to be
makes
like
sense.
10.
No, I
That
was
kinda
just,
makes sense.
Yeah,
Man, you
that's
think my
fair.
ADHD was bad in adulthood, man?
Man,
But yeah, Dragon Ball.
yeah.
I wasn't super into Dragon Ball Z. I remember, I don't even know how old I was, probably 8. No, not even. I remember I had to have been 5. And I remember
Who's your
coming back
favorite
with a
Dragon
pizza,
Ball character?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Android 17.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. That actually checks out.
I remember coming back from
Wait.
getting pizza and fries one night, and I came home and part of the Frieza saga was on, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, let's watch this. my buddy Sean and I sat down. We fucking loved it, and so you know we went out and rented from a box office store somewhere nearby, like all the old VHS tapes, and we just sat down and watched them from the Saiyan saga all the way up to like I think midway through the Buu saga in like 2 weeks.
Dude, I love the Dragon Ball VHS tapes. So
They were fun.
So
All the
nice.
coloring was messed up.
Yeah,
Just look in chat for the third
Whoa.
image when you look up Android 17.
I can see what
Wow.
you're into. Yeah.
Hello.
Also, on like the asking if you missed something about Fruits Basket, you did not. The reason I watched it as my first anime is because my oldest sister's best friend was a fucking weeb
Outside influence.
when they were like 16, and this is like 2005.
I
So
getcha.
it's peak like otaku yaoi paddle age
Other than
type shit, and she had the DVD and gave it to me.
Other than all the ones I've just brought up, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon, those were big for me when I was a kid.
I'm going to say that those don't count. I'm going to make the bold
I would
claim
kind
that
of arrive at
I think that they're
same-
they
Get
were
out,
s-
Klidge, get out.
they were Saturday morning serialized.
They were,
I'm
they
gonna
were.
say I'm not saying they're not anime. I'm going to say that they don't count towards
The
like
beat-
your first anime.
the beat to the English Digimon intro always got me hyped though.
Digimon. The woman shows up and walks in front of the camera.
And the 1995 movie, my God, the English dub is such chaos, and I love it. I love going back every now and then and just watching the horrible English voices with like Smash Mouth, and then you got like bare naked ladies in the soundtrack, and half the shit that the Digimon are saying doesn't even correlate with the original Japanese.
I
Have you
remember.
ever seen the I'm sorry, this is important. Have you ever read the Digimon movie Green Text?
No.
Oh my God.
It's from 4chan about how that movie got this guy's parents divorced.
Oh
They were
shit.
going through a
God.
rough patch.
Oh my
And then they were
God.
watching the movie, and the parents didn't understand what was happening, and they started arguing with each other. They started screaming at each other, and they were like, "What the fuck's happening?" And then they fought, and then they broke up, and they got divorced.
That's pretty fucking.
That's not funny. It's not funny.
No, it's funny. I remember my mom checked me out of school or something, or we were, I don't know, maybe I was at daycare or something. She took me to watch. It was either the one with Entei or the one with
Pokemon
Mewtwo.
3?
I think it was.
Pokemon 1?
I think it was Mewtwo. I think I watched Pokemon. I think I watched the Mewtwo one. But I could
That
also
was
say the
Pokemon
same
the
that
first
I
movie.
probably also saw both of them in theaters. I just can't remember which one. Like,
I don't think I ever saw a single Pokemon movie in theaters. They were always coming out on VHS, and I just
yeah,
somehow
no,
acquire them.
dude.
Oh wait, real quick, just to cap off all those childhood ones, Naruto.
Yeah, man.
I will say this: I completely get why some people hate it, some people love it. I remember being into this one on Toonami called Zatch Bell. I think it had a
Dude.
different name in
Oh, Zatch
Japanese.
Bell.
Yeah,
What the
and
fuck?
I
recognize
remember
that.
Naruto came along when I was like 7 years old and took that 9 o'clock Toonami slot. And I thought Naruto was just getting like canceled as a show. I didn't even have a computer at this age, so I had no access to the internet. It was just something that came on the TV, and all I knew was like, I might be the only one who even knows about this. And
Right?
so I remember they're like, next week on Toonami, 9 o'clock p.m. You know, this Naruto kid in this orange jumpsuit running around, and I'm just like, I don't care. Give me my little Momoto children burning books.
Yeah.
That's him. That's him. And I just
ahead.
remember thinking this is gonna be trash. And my buddy Sean came back, and we're watching it the next weekend, and I'm like, oh, this is good.
Man, no, that first episode, I remember when I watched that first episode.
Yeah, the shadow clones.
The
on,
shadow clone.
Mizuki.
I was like,
They got you in quick with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They did. They did.
it's crazy because every episode after that is just dog shit.
I think
until you
when
get
I
to
saw like
the
it
first
was
mission.
a little bit more graphic with the violence, like Iruka with the giant shuriken in his back
Yeah,
at the end of episode
Mhm.
1, I was just like, whoa.
yeah. They
I
were
remember seeing
showing
that shit in a
blood on
manga panel
Toonami.
growing up.
Yeah.
They were showing
And that's what I'll
blood
say.
on Toonami.
With Naruto,
Great.
I highly recommend to people with Naruto, if they want to get into it today, this is my personal choice, read the manga. I think the manga is way better with pacing. The art, I think visually it is just more enticing. And God, you don't have to sit through so many of the flashbacks, so many of the filler, and just reused animation. They got really lazy in like mid Shippuden.
I mean,
You shouldn't even watch. I don't think anybody should. If you're thinking about getting a Naruto today, I still think part one, pace. Well, I think part one pacing wise is way better, way better. Especially if you're skipping all the filler and you're just getting into the meat of it. They do such a good job with just the adaptation in general. Definitely the fights in the manga are really good, but these animators were cooking.
No, there's some
cooking.
even in Shippuden, like I said, it kind of drops off animation wise, like mid Shippuden, but there are still in that last section, there are moments that I just find myself on YouTube going back and watching and be like, damn.
Part one just had character. Part one just had so much identity and character, and you can't really hate on it. Shippuden kind of lost their way because they were like, oh, we're big boys now. We're part of the big three now. We can just do whatever the fuck we want. And
Can I talk about real quick, just like how famously known, even amongst people who like hated anime back then, everyone seemed to know the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight. Like everyone seemed to know that.
It was so heat. That shit was so heat.
Like I had bullies in middle school that I would hear talking about the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight who just like gave me shit for liking Naruto.
People
like,
don't know the tuning exams were that tournament arc. The tuning exams tournament arc. That's how you do. That is a big. Yeah. I think that's one of the best tournament
forever,
arcs.
Though, episodically having to wait each week.
Yeah, to watch the tuning
took,
exams.
Ridiculous. It took like 3/4 of the year just getting through that.
Yeah.
I mean,
God damn.
Claim out there.
So good.
I think that most of the time, if you have access to it, you should read the manga.
I think so.
If I'm presented the opportunity to read the manga or watch the anime, most of the time I'm going to read the manga.
Unless you know that it's already animated and it's by a studio that you really respect, or you're like, okay, yeah, these guys are
sure,
never miss.
Like I mean, Dragon Maid is a perfect example of that. Actually, it's like the Dragon Maid manga is really good, and I love that dude's art style. The anime is like so good at translating it that it's essentially interchangeable. But like even just like I've been going through not these. I've been going through
what the
slowly but surely all of the Free Ren manga.
Oh.
And it's the Free Ren anime is amazing. Don't get me wrong, that shit is a straight 10 out of 10. If you're not a whiny bitch who doesn't know, who is, able to sit down and watch things and comprehend storytelling, I'm calling out everybody.
It sounded like you were calling out 5-year-old me.
I'm calling it. Well, no, trust me. There's plenty of people who I've talked to who I couldn't get into Free Ren because it was so slow and boring and nothing happens and there's not a romance happening, so I couldn't get into it. And I'm like, are you stupid? But that's aside from the point. The Free Ren manga is phenomenal. Like the art in it goes absolutely amazing, and I adore it to all hell and back. Another example is I've never watched the Demon Slayer anime.
Did you like the manga?
I've read the entirety of the manga. I've never watched the anime. I have no interest in watching the anime.
I might pick up the manga for that one because I've tried watching it a few times. I get up to the point where they introduce what's his name? Inosuke, the boarhead guy.
Yeah.
And then he gave everyone Listeria.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just say Listeria or Wisteria?
Listeria.
Like, okay.
The manga is objectively worse because the art style is very, very... How do I want to put this without sounding very mean? The art style is very, very different from what you would expect. And it bounces between having really, really good art and also just like kind of like scraggly doodles, it almost seems like.
It's very vivid. Like the art in the anime. It's very like, damn, that's pronounced.
I mean, that's
it's not something I usually look for, like not the pronounced colors or anything, but
I think
I mean, I
that's
do look for that.
I think that's what makes Demon Slayer so like. I, honestly, sometimes animation can carry your mid story to new heights, and people like rave about it. But really, they're like, "Oh, did you see how hyped that was?" And I'm like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
hyped
your mom's
because.
a mid story.
Oh wow, this guy's so all right. Anyway,
Thanks for that one, Cam.
Well, no, you're right. It's like sometimes
yeah,
you'll be like, yeah, sure. The characters that are fighting, like the fight scene itself, what I'm looking at is visually really,
yeah,
really cool.
it
But I don't give a
elevates
fuck about
things.
these people, so who cares?
Yeah, it elevates things to make you care about something. And Demon Slayer, I mean, it falls for all of the shonen tropes. Like, fucking, you can't. It's hard to hate Tanjiro. It's hard to fucking hate Zenitsu. Like, because they're.
People
I hate
fucking hate
Zenitsu.
Zenitsu.
And I'm like,
I hate
it's.
Zenitsu.
I don't get it. I think he's such a funny,
the blonde crybaby?
Yeah, he's the blonde, scared, like coward, but fucking
He's the guy that looks
funny.
like the chicken.
He's just funny. To me, he's just funny. Like, no matter what,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like, this
fair.
guy's just funny, you know? I don't know. Demon Slayer's good, don't get me wrong, but it's being carried by who's animating it? Type Moon or something? Who are they?
The fucking
UFO
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 table.
Yeah. Those
By the
guys
way,
are
anybody who's
on crack.
anybody who said that that UFO table is only big because of Demon Slayer, I want you
No.
to know that you're wrong.
Go watch Fate, you
and
fucks.
that every look, as somebody who is unfortunately deeply tied to Fate and the Type Moon franchise because of the kind of content I make,
Yeah.
I do not like any of their anime aside from Fate Zero.
Dude, you
Dude,
should like do something on the internet with Fate.
Zero's so
should,
good.
right?
Unlimited Blade
Zero's
Works is not as good as Zero, but still pretty
It's not,
good.
The fight scenes in it are better.
Yeah,
I'll say the
yeah,
fight
yeah.
scenes in Unlimited Blade Works are the only good part of that.
Yeah.
And the voice work. I will give the voice actors
work,
credit.
yeah.
They do a great job.
Mm-hmm. I am
It's
the
just, I
bone of
don't-
my
I do not-
sword.
Right? I don't care at all for the story of Stay Night. I think that it's very, very mediocre, and people glaze it like it's a fucking donut. And I don't know. If you follow me at all, you already know all this about me, and you already hate me for it, so it's okay. But if you're just now learning, give me those likes. Give me those
those
hate.
Speaking of learning, I think it's time that we learn what our new shows we're gonna watch are gonna be. Woo!
Can I say
All
real
right.
quick? I didn't want to interrupt y'all, but you mentioned that green text about the
Digimon.
person's parents divorcing because of the Digimon movie.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the same, but very similar. When my parents divorced, it was 2008. I was 10 years old. I remember my mom having a mental breakdown because I was watching Kappa Mikey in the living room and she had no
Not
fucking
Kappa
clue
Mikey. Oh my
what the
god.
fuck I was watching, and it put her in so much emotional distress. She had a full breakdown.
I'm
I
so
think if I had to-
sorry.
If I had to listen
It's
to my
fine.
kid watching that in my adult life, I'd have to be restrained.
Yeah, it's like my grandfather, her dad had just passed away.
Yo.
Her and my dad had just gotten a divorce, and I'm sitting there 10 years old watching Kappa Mikey full volume in the living room.
gosh!
Right after Mr.
She
Meaty.
couldn't fucking do it. She could not do
I
it.
don't blame her. Your mom is completely in the right for
Dude,
God.
I thought Kappa Mikey was so fucking funny, man. I was like, this shit is hilarious.
I remember my uncles were there watching
God.
it, and they thought it was really funny, but my mom didn't.
Or she didn't stuff you
I
in the
love-
recycling bin.
Cam,
I
what the
love
fuck
idea
are you
of,
watching?
Like, looking into an eldritch horror that is Kappa Mikey and not being able to comprehend it, having an actual mental breakdown.
Yeah, something about that. That's pretty funny, bro.
Can you
Also,
imagine, like,
the opening for that show still goes hard.
Yes.
Can you imagine like dying
Oh.
and being in purgatory and all you can see is Cam's mom crying in the corner while he sits cross-legged in the
Watch
living
his
room watching
Kappa Mikey.
Not
All
even
of it
cross-legged.
on
I
the-
can't cross my legs. I used to
Oh my
sit
God.
like
It's
anime
'cause you
girls
watch
do,
Kappa
where your
Mikey.
legs go back.
Aw, that's cute.
Oh,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the fucking W sit or whatever the
The
fuck they call it.
grasshopper.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's-
I can't cross my legs. So that's how
Really?
I always sat. So that's how
Wow.
I sit. How I was sat in front of the TV watching Kappa Mikey.
Hey, subtle brag,
Also,
guys.
Oh,
I
my
think
mom lost her mind.
Cambit had that thing on him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I can't cross my legs, man.
if you're a talented artist or animator, feel free to send us the clips of you making that into fan.
Hey, before we segue into the thing, I gotta do a quick callback. Jake, I found the messages I sent you. I'm gonna read them off real quick.
Yeah. Wait, what messages about
The
what?
messages that I sent to the
Jake
fake,
Michael.
the
Oh.
Jake
Oh my
Michael
God.
13. Hold on. His name is Michael Davis now. January 30th, 2022. This is right after Jake told me he got hacked. I said, dude, Jake, I heard you suck that dude's dick. Nice, bro. he says,
Nice, bro.
he says,
Nice cock.
he says,
Nice cock.
he says, yo, what's up? I said, yo, how did this dick taste though? He goes, let's no talk about that. I need your help, please.
I would say let's not talk about that.
I said, but you were so excited the other day, man. Please, come on, tell me. We can talk about that later. I just need to log into my IG first. You have to help me, please, bro.
He sounds like an AI. Like he sounds like that old school. What was that AI bot? It had like the woman's face or whatever on it.
I don't
Like Eve
know.
or something. I think.
I don't know. That's so funny.
It sounds like
though.
when you tried getting that thing to talk about something, it was programmed like not
to
like,
talk about.
entertain. It's like let's no talk about that right
Let's
now.
no talk
However,
about that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This.
Yeah, there's the classic "God to punish your papa" is what he said to
God
me,
to punish your
God
papa
to
was
punish your papa.
that's so funny.
and that was after I fucked them for like a week.
That was peak Jake Michael 12.
Jake Michael. I thought it was Jake Michael 13. Did he change it to 12 at some point?
Michael 13.
He was still baking his final form, so he
Oh
got
my
that same
gosh.
energy.
I see. Gotcha.
Okay, I have got
right,
mine.
let's
I
start with
want-
Jordan.
All right, so
Peggy 12.
this go around this cycle, I said that I'm
Less
still.
sci-fi.
I did say.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm gonna
Yeah.
cut you off immediately. I did look at the My Anime list. I can look at it by genre. We've watched 9 anime. 8 are sci-fi. 8 are
So
considered sci-fi. 5 are considered drama.
Are you guys going about your seasons in like genre or
no,
just
no, it
randomized?
just
No,
so
that's
happened to
just
be
how it
what
worked
happened.
out.
Okay.
So what? So this time I promised myself I would put something up here, but I couldn't help myself. These are still sci-fi, given they're definitely different and art-wise they're varied. But I put a romance in here that is also technically a sci-fi. Okay, so I think I talked to you guys about it, but I want to watch the remake of Urusei Yatsura, the 2022 remake. So it's like a sci-fi romance that should be pretty fun, you know, mix it up a little bit. And it's outside of like what I usually watch. So on the flip side, I also added the new Code Geass, Rose of the Recapture or Rose of the Recapture. I'm not sure which one. Code Geass is really good. That's a mech anime worth watching.
I didn't like the new one.
Oh shit, you watched it already? Well, don't say anything. We're gonna if it's bad, then you know.
Cut that out.
that's
Cut
fine.
that out.
I'm not cutting it.
And then there's another one that is like a time travel anime that I saw. I was like, oh, it looks pretty cool. It's called TP Bond. TP Bond? Time Patrol, I think is what it's called. It's on Netflix. I don't know what it's about, except this
Never heard
Time
of it.
Patrol. So that's what I got on here.
TVA.
Okay, all right.
All right.
All right, I'm cool to watch Code Geass. I remember when I was growing up, I read some of the manga of Urusei Yatsura, which is I believe that's by the Inuyasha woman.
Yes.
the
Yeah,
woman who
she
made that.
is. She's pretty
And
good.
she's a goat. She's
Yeah.
absolutely legendary, and there's a reason why her shit has remained insanely popular for as long as it has.
Yo.
So it'll be cool to go back and see some Code Geass. Let's pump those numbers. Get 86 below second position in my anime list. That shit should never be above, like, I don't know, 50th at most.
Yeah, bro. Like, what are we doing? All right, Cam,
Alright,
what'd you
what do you
bring?
bring?
What'd you bring?
Anyway,
Man with the letter.
Okay. So I brought Paranoia Agent.
Oh, here we go.
As
I'm ready to
anybody who
see
doesn't
people
know,
laugh.
That's Satoshi Kon. That was the
Satoshi.
single only anime serialized anime that he produced. Everything else is movies. It's great.
Okay.
Erased,
Oh, here we
classic.
go.
One of my favorites.
Oh
Technically
no.
sci-fi, I guess.
Yeah.
Technically, maybe.
I still categorize it as thriller drama with sci-fi elements.
That's
Is
what
it
I have written
sci-fi
down
or
as thriller
paranormal? I always thought
mystery.
it was paranormal.
Yeah. Paranormal. Well, I
Eh,
mean, it's still science. You know,
All right.
kinda.
it's as much
weird.
science as Tokyo Revengers is science.
Yeah, but it's
All right.
great. It's amazing. Anybody who hasn't seen it, recommend.
Okay.
And the Tatami Galaxy.
Tatami Galaxy.
I have been very excited to recommend this one.
Yes.
This one is kind of sci-fi. It's got a time loop, but that's really the extent of it.
Groundhog Day.
The art style is
Exactly.
awesome.
Okay.
Art style is awesome. It's basically just a college kid blaming all of the problems in his life on another college kid and being like, if I had never met this person, everything would turn out differently.
Hmm.
And it just explores that concept, and it's phenomenal. I have the 2 books in the series that I've been reading. They're phenomenal. They're just like light novels. It's not a manga. Great writing, super funny, amazing animation. Super excited for that one.
Heck yeah. Okay. And Klidge?
All right. Well, I'm hyped for that. I'll say so far, the only one I'm scared of watching is Erased. I'm not ready for what that's going to do to me.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'm not ready for what
It's
that's gonna do
good.
to me.
It's
I'm gonna be
good.
real.
You'll be
It's
fine.
I know it's good. I have no doubt that it's good. It's one of those things like it's the same thing with Violet Evergarden. Like I know Violet Evergarden is an amazing story, but that bitch gonna hurt. You know?
Maybe it might. I don't
Anyway.
know.
I don't know. That's not. Maybe I'll throw that on the list at another time, but not this time.
Of course.
So this time around, I am recommending. So I'm going to go back to one just like Cam did and pick one that we were going to cover, but then it was still airing at the time, but it's finished airing. I want you all to watch "'Tis Time for Torture Princess."
'Tis time for torture, princess.
Unironically, that show it's very cute. It's a slice of life. The concept is that a princess has been taken into a dungeon after a battle, and a demon mommy has been told to torture her.
Oh,
Except
say
all
less.
the tortures are fucking goofy as shit.
Say less.
And it's over the top. The animation is amazing. It just got renewed. It got renewed for a second season
okay.
the day that it ended the first one.
Demon
because
mommy?
It was that good.
Say less, bro. That's all you had to
It's
say.
great. It's actually phenomenal. The humor in it's really good. Again, it's one of those like it's very Nietzsche Joe, in that for no reason the animation will just become amazing, and it forgets its own premise like that halfway through the series.
Cool.
It's great. Second, Roku no Yusha. Have either of you seen Roku no Yusha?
No.
No.
Perfect. Don't look up anything about it.
Okay. Except how to spell it.
It's a mystery.
Motherfucker, I have definitely... Yeah, no, I watched this before. Yeah.
You have? Okay, that's fine. I want to go back and revisit it because there's still stuff to see and to see how well it's held up.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's one of my favorite anime ever from my memory. It could be worse than I remember. It could be better. Who's to say? But it's a mystery. The world's in danger. They need heroes to show up. There's 6 heroes that need to show up, and 7 do. And so they're trying. So they get stuck in a place, and the entire premise is figuring out who's the fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Exactly. It's actually amazing.
It was
and it has
Among
some of
Us.
the worst 3D monsters ever.
Somebody's the imposter.
Yeah, it is. It's essentially Among Us, but it's great.
All right. And then what's your final
and then
one?
My final one is okay. So some of my own anime history is back in the day when I was getting back into anime when I got into college. I tried to watch this series, and I dropped it after the first episode because I was just like, I don't fucking get it. And I came back and I watched like all 8 seasons that were available. And that's, have you ever seen Bakemonogatari?
No,
No, I've
wanted
heard
to,
so
but
many good things
I have
about
not.
it.
But so it has a million seasons, and it's still somehow super niche. It's by Studio Shaft. Bakemonogatari just means ghost story,
The
which was very
Monogatari
confusing
series.
because I looked up ghost stories, the English dub. I was trying to find that, and I found this instead. I was like, this is not what I thought it was, but I like it. It's a, I'm just gonna say it's a classic.
Okay.
And it has amazing music for all of its intros. Like you probably remember Renai Circulation when that was really big for a while. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's Bakemonogatari. If not, it's the second season. Regardless, it's great. It's again Studio Shaft. They don't really miss. They pop the
Okay.
fuck off. But be ready to be confused and be like, why is there so many hard cuts?
All right, we got a crazy director on our hands.
Yeah, it's a very 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 fun story. It kind of devolves a bit the more seasons you go into, but that's okay.
Okay.
Whatever. That's my recommendation, and our Jake recommendation. Jake,
Oh man. Oh boy, they're picking me. Okay, so my recommendations are amongst the new things that I've watched and some I kind of remember. Take these lightly. I'm not like dying on any hills here. One I kind of will die on the hill of is the new Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I think it was great. I think it was a very fun watch. I'm not saying like, yo, this is better than anything else or whatever. I just think it's a fun watch.
We
If you
can't
haven't seen
have
it, it's
a
short.
we can't have a season without a trigger anime up here.
Yeah, so
True.
let that be maybe your trigger anime. It's
Yeah.
short. Even if you don't like the game, if you like the concept of like a cyberpunk dystopian crime-ridden city, like it scratches that itch.
Yo.
Okay.
Other one that I remember is if you haven't seen it, you like kind of like that blend of silliness and whatever else, Durarara or whatever you call it.
Durarara.
Durarara with the exclamation marks. Don't
Yep,
forget them.
I don't forget them.
Never.
I don't know if we can add that to the list. There's like 3 seasons to that.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. I forgot.
That's a long. That's a
I
very
only-
very long.
I
fun
only remember
series,
it
but
going
I
up
do
until
love that.
like I won't say scene, but it seemed like a good ending, and then they're just like, now let's bring it back. So maybe not.
They brought it back, I think, a couple of years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I
That's
felt
a
like they did.
motherfucker
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
another motherfucker with a vending machine. Gotta be
Oh
one of
yeah,
my favorite
Shizuo.
genders.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's do a little bit of a behind the scenes for this. Yeah, so this is being recorded and will be released after the Eva episode, which will also feature Jake. But because we got, I'm just gonna say, life has been busy for all of us, so we've not recorded in like 2 months or some shit like that. And so if we sound a little bit rusty, we are. And so we've just tried to, make things work as we can. And so if things seem like they're a little bit out of sync with that, that's why. We apologize for that. However, what are you gonna do? We're working with what we got. So we'll be back with Eva, and then 2 weeks after Eva, we're gonna start with TP Bon. Yeah, so we will be back. All right, so I think that's gonna take it from us.